Welcome to Campfire Chats, episode 3.
Wow, is it already 3?
Yeah. Yep, this is our little seasonal run where we just talk about books. So no true crime, but books that we've been reading independendly. And one of the books on this list, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk to you about it. Because I'm like, wait, I've read that too. So,
it's very exciting.
Yeah, but before we jump on in, I've been checking our subscriber lists.
Mm-hmm.
And Spotify, hey, we need some work on that.
Mm-hmm.
But YouTube, we're officially in the double digits.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I'm glad you've been paying attention.
Yep, so we are officially in the double digits. So I'm very thankful for everyone who hit subscribe. I know, because I've been saying, please make sure you subscribe so we know we don't suck. Uh-huh. I mean, I know we don't suck, but it's also nice to have that affirmation of, no, we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, even if I just babble, it's fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's fine.
Yep, so we're in the double digits for that, and then I've been trying to remember to download when I do a TikTok, download that, and then upload it to YouTube.
Right.
So we've been doing
to
that.
YouTube or the gram?
I do it to both.
Oh, jeez.
So we're everywhere.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We're everywhere.
Yes.
My face is everywhere now. Shit.
Hey, we can do TikToks where your face doesn't have to be on there, and then I can mask your voice.
I'm not talking. I don't know what you're talking about. I am not talking. I'm not doing it.
No, mask your voice as in you can talk, but then the voice changes, so people don't know it's you talking.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking. I don't need to mask my voice because I'm not talking. Refusal!
Either way, I think we're very much so ready for fall. I mean, as we record this, we're at the end of July, but you're drinking your Sam Adams Jacko.
Uh-huh. Thank you, Sam Adams. I went from their summer porch rocker, summer ale, cherry wheat, pool party pack to I'll do a pumpkin ale. I like pumpkin, and the flannel fest is very good. That was a very tough decision for me to make.
Yeah. Well, that's why I took over the Dunkel. I was like, I'm going to do the flannel fest. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I'm doing it.
Yep.
I'm ready. And it's just a little too hot today, or else I would have lit up the Witch City Wicks candle, but I was also like, it's hot.
It was nice today.
I've been hibernating. And I've been told it's hot outside, so
it's not hot outside. It's humid. Oh. It has not been hot.
Got it. I'm still hiding.
I understand completely. I support that choice.
But either way, we're ready for fall. But thank you to everyone who has hit subscribe. We're appreciative of every single one of you, and I hope our numbers can rise.
You're here.
Yes. But, all right. What's the first book you want to talk about?
So I just finished reading this one. This was like one of those books that I saw recommended, and then I had to start power reading through it because it was due in 3 days on Libby, and I couldn't extend the hold on it because everyone was waiting for it. So I'm like, okay, I actually have to read this now. Darn it! So I was able to finish it like the day it was due. And it was good though. I was like really impressed with this book. It's not the new, and I think I wrote this on our gram, but it's not the usual book that I normally read.
Yeah.
It's it sounds like it's based on ancient Chinese myth where 100 years ago an emperor was killed, and the sea god and the emperor were like best friends. Mm-hmm. And once the emperor died, the sea god went into turmoil, and he had made storms come every year, these horrible, awful storms where it brought the droughts and huge giant waves. And so what the villagers ended up doing is they would sacrifice a bride each year, and it would just kind of it was very interesting because we enter the story 100 years after the emperor has died, and this girl named Mina, I'm gonna get that wrong, I feel like it's Mina though, Mina sacrifices herself so that her brother's true love cannot be sacrificed. So she just kind of jumps into the sea, and then we hear her whole story of her actually being in the sea. Like, she doesn't die, but she's in the sea god's kingdom, And it's all the people around that are trying to protect the sea god or trying to take over his power and how they make that happen, and red strings of fate that bind you to the person you're supposed to be with type of deal. So well written, actually. Mm-hmm. And then those like little twists here and there, of course, because of course, so when she first gets there, because she's the sea god's bride, she has this red string of fate, and the best way I can think to explain it is basically it's a string that comes from the palm of your hand mm-hmm. and leads you to the person that you're supposed to be fated to. And that's kind of the whole premise of this book, is you can rewrite your own fate.
Oh.
It's very interesting. It's so good.
Yeah.
It is so, so good.
How'd you find out about this book?
I don't remember. I think it was one of those books that was like recommended on Instagram, or someone posted something about it, and I was like, oh, that looks really good.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend. And it's a little bit of a love story, of course.
Yeah.
Like, as we're talking about it. But.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because you posted it. Oops. That's when I have to remember to take my phone and put it on silent because I was using it for work today.
I understand.
Yeah, you had posted that to Instagram, and actually someone had commented saying,
yes!
Loved it.
Yes, I think someone actually commented on our story about it, too.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Loved The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Alexi O.
Axie
O, sorry. Mm-hmm. I need to read more of her work.
And that makes me think, okay, what else has she written?
Yeah.
I want to know now. If I like The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea as much as I did, I'd be curious as to what else I would like.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me when you introduced me to Elle Kennedy, where I was like, oh my god, I need to do this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's one of your favorites now.
Oh, I have a problem. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Well, and it's so funny with the whole, like, have a problem thing, because I had posted another reel to YouTube, and it was, I'm trying to remember which one it was, because I've decided, like, my makeshift bookshelves is just going to be my backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
And someone's like, you have so many books, and I was like, we refuse to think we have a problem. This is only a portion of my I've read these.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then I go, my to be read list is a little out of it. It's crazy. And they responded with, what?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yep, welcome to my life.
I know. I have a coworker who's just had a moving sale the other day, and she still has a bookshelf, and I'm like,
can I have it?
Can I have it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I might have to tell my husband that we need to bring his truck and go get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Well, when we were
if it's still there, at least.
Yeah, when we were on our cruise a few months ago, the ship had a library kind of section where it was just decoration, but it was beautifully done because everything, you had your piles of books, and then every here and there was like an artifact of something, and I was like, that's a classy ass way to do that.
Yeah,
I love it. And Eric's like, I don't mind it. I'm like, yes, I have permission.
Yay! You don't know what you just agreed to.
Yep. Yep.
Uh-huh. All right, what do you want to talk about?
So, last week, you and I went to a silent book club meeting, and I had just started Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone.
That was only last week that you started that book?
Yeah.
You were very impressed with that book.
Yeah, so a friend of ours recommended it, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Mm-hmm. And I will say the first half of it, I was forced to slow down my reading, which is very difficult for me to do, because I'm just like, I just want to move forward, but I can't. So, did you ever watch Murder, She Wrote?
No.
Okay, so Murder, She Wrote was back in, like, the 80s, and starred Angela Lansbury, so she was Mrs. Potts in the animated version of Beauty and the Beast.
Gotcha.
And so, Murder, She Wrote, she was going around solving these mysteries, but it's like these little details here and there, that's kind of the key as far as like, okay, did we miss this? How does she solve? Like, it's great. So it reminded me a bit of that, where details are everything.
Wow.
Like, even, like, And it's not just details as far as, like, what you see visually. It's what you hear and what your brain interprets. So basically, everyone in my family has killed someone is about this family reunion that takes place. It's in Australia, and it's the middle of winter, and they're all at this resort. And years earlier, the main character, Ernie, had helped his brother with the aftermath of a crime, couldn't really live with himself, and reported the murder to the cops, where got his brother arrested. I'm not giving anything away, it's in the description.
Right.
So with the start of this reunion, his brother is getting released from prison, and he's like, oh shit, my family's gonna fucking hate me. And like, his mom fucking hates him because she was like, no, family first, like, you shouldn't have snitched on your brother. So he doesn't
hate that.
He hates everyone except for his stepsister.
Fair.
He's like, people can go fuck themselves, but I also can't, like, this is a requirement to go. So they arrive, and...
I still would have said fuck it if it was me and my family.
Yeah, I know, right?
But anyways.
Yes. Within the first, I want to say, like, 24 hours of being there, there's a murder. And the really key point is there's no way to figure out who killed them. Like, there's no tracks going off somewhere. They're like, what the hell? So they're trying to figure that out. But what's so interesting was in the beginning, the author was like, okay, a murder's going to happen on this page, this page, this page, and this page. And you're like, huh? What? And it happens. And it goes back in time between the present day and then things that have happened. Because he's like, okay, well, this family member, we go back to this time and that time. And I want to say the last, like, 200, 100 pages, this is very similar to a Sarah J. Maas book. It just flew.
Cool.
And I was like, holy shit, what? And then 100% a Frida McFadden ending. Like, the last page had me being like, say what? And I will say part of it was kind of hard to follow. I was like, oh, do I kind of understand this? I'm not too sure, but I'm going to keep reading. So it was very unique for me to read, which I really enjoyed that ending part. Oh my gosh. If you are a fan of, like, mystery and details, like, that, this is the book.
Awesome. Love it.
I'm excited for your next one.
So this is one of the ones that I just finished listening to. The Last Thing He Told Me. Automatically starts off with a wife talking about not getting along with her stepdaughter, who is 16, but she's a teenager. No one gets along with them. And all of a sudden, this girl's dad completely disappears. Her husband disappears. There's no rhyme or reason for it. He's just in the wind. And it goes throughout the entire book of her and Bailey, the daughter, trying to figure out where is he and trying to piece little itty bitty bits of information together that even, like, the U.S. Marshals, the federal government, all those big higher up people have no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And then, of course, like, I don't know how much I actually want to say because we're trying not to spoil things. But ends up finding...
It's going to be a spoiler because I've read it too.
Oh, okay. So we're going to spoil this one.
Spoiler alert. Fast forward a little bit if you don't want to know and you haven't read it yet.
So fascinating, though. She tracks down his in-laws from his previous marriage where his wife was killed and his dad is a lawyer for, like, the fucking mob.
Yeah.
And she tracks them down and makes a deal to be like, I'm keeping her safe.
Yeah.
You'd better keep her safe as well. I will not poison it. And I was like, oh! And we never hear from him. We never hear from Owen again. We never hear from him except for at the very, very end. At the very, very end, he pops in and she's like, that might be him. I think that's him. I am not going to make a big deal of this. This is all I'm going to get. And I'm like, oh my God.
I got really emotional during that.
Oh, seriously.
Because I could just visualize it. I was like, oh my God.
It's like, he looks different, but that's him. That's Owen. And it's like, how can you rationalize? And it's like one of those things where I'm like, is that the right decision to have made? I guess, like, it kind of is in a sense for herself because she's still able to do her job that she loves because she would not have been able to do that if she went into the WITSEC. Her stepdaughter can go to school like normal, have a normal life, not have to worry about any of that. They just can't have Owen around. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that broke my heart.
Oh.
Absolutely, it broke my heart.
Holy smokes. That was amazing.
Yeah. Like, I read this, I finished it in the beginning of December of 2023.
Wow.
So, it's been a little while.
Okay.
But I remember just thinking, like, oh my God, my heart. Oh my God, my heart. And, like, it takes a special type of person to be able to have all of that flung on them, go on a massive manhunt, essentially, and realize they can be this stable person in a teenager's life.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and they weren't even together for that long. It was maybe 2 years? Maybe a year?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of history as far as their relationship, which is really strange because a lot of the time it's like you establish the characters and then something happens. Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
That did not happen here. It was just kind of like...
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like gave you a little bit of backstory on each character, but not like up to the present type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
That was a good read.
I'm really mad I don't have Apple TV because there's a series on Apple TV of this.
I don't even think I want to watch it though. Like, that's one of those things. I've been so turned off by making series out of books or movies out of books where I'm just like, I just want to read the book. Mm-hmm. But if I accidentally like watch a series first, or if I accidentally watch a movie first, I then want to go back and read the book.
Yes, that's
like
fair.
I think I did that with the Divergent series so long ago, where I watched the movies before I read the book, and then I read the book, and I was like, you changed a lot.
Yeah. That happened to me in Bridgerton because I had no idea it was a series, and I was like, oh shit. And then when I went back to read the book, I was like, this what? Huh? What?
And like same thing with, and I think My Sister's Keeper is what started it for me, for not liking the movie as much as the book, because my heart broke at the end of that book.
Yeah.
And then I immediately watched the movie and I was so disappointed.
Wait, did we talk about on these recordings of the TikTok from Jodi Picoult about that?
We might have. I think we did touch on it. Anywho, I don't remember if we did actually talk about it, but we can briefly touch on it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess she was getting a lot of flack for like, how could you allow this to happen? There's no way you should have allowed this to happen. She didn't allow it to happen. They all went behind her back and did it without her permission. I was so fucking pissed when I heard that. I was like,
well, you heard it directly from her mouth because she's so wonderfully active on TikTok.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Yeah.
I like her. I love the way she writes.
Yeah.
I love her as an author. She does a great job with all of her research that she does for her books.
Oh my
it is
gosh.
amazing.
Yeah. You definitely turned me on to her for sure. Like, I haven't read anything since our episode earlier this year, just because my list is so long.
I know.
But I've definitely gained a very strong appreciation for her, and then seeing her on TikTok, I'm like, she's hysterical.
She's great.
I love her.
Yep. All right, your last one. You finished this one
No.
in like...
I haven't finished it yet.
You haven't? I thought you finished it in like 24 hours.
I wanted to.
Oh.
So I have it right here. So if you are involved in the next fitness thing, you know all about what I'm about to say. So I apologize in advance.
Don't care.
This is Inheritance by Nora Roberts. And this is the first of 3.
Okay.
And this just came out last year. Hold on just one second. This came out, last year. I didn't know if there was going to be a month associated with it.
Okay.
But this is one where the description was like, okay, this is really fascinating, but I'm very kind of confused about part of this. Oh my God.
Wow.
This is I think this is one of my most favorite reads of the entire year.
Wow.
So it's 419 pages. I'm on page 252.
You're more than halfway through.
Yeah, I'm more than halfway through. And I've been giggling to this. So it's about this woman. She is engaged, weeks away from her wedding, and she cancels a meeting with the florist. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to prepare a meal for my fiance. We're going to have a nice, relaxing night. She gets to her house and discovers her fiance is screwing her cousin.
Wonderful.
And she does the thing that makes me so happy where she says, get the fuck out of my house. And he's just like, well, it's our house. And she goes, my name is on the mortgage. Get out.
Good
and
for
I'm
her.
Yes. And so she ends up calling in, like, her best friend. She has a really close relationship with her mom. And they basically start to, like, process through a lot of it. And she's like, you know what? I was having some doubts about part of this wedding because it's representation of him, not as much of me.
Mm-hmm.
And the hard part was he was a coworker of hers.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not helpful.
And she's into graphic design, like, specifically, like, creating websites and logos and cards and all that for businesses. So she gets approached one day by this attorney saying, your long-lost uncle basically left his house to you.
Oh.
And she didn't know her father was a twin.
Oh.
And neither of the boys knew they were twins growing up. So I won't give it away too much after that. But this is mystery, the paranormal, and romance. All wrapped into one. But I think my most favorite part that I think is one of the most unique things is this house is haunted. And one of the ghosts likes music. So she'll be doing different things. And all of a sudden...
silly.
I've been laughing so hard at this. So I'm trying to find a really good excerpt where I can give an example. But basically she'll be doing something. And all of a sudden the house will just start playing a song. And at first she's a skeptic. She's like, what? No. No. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to play into this. Like, not funny. Okay, so... one of this, she's working, and I'm trying to, like, word this in a way without, like, quoting and giving anything away. But basically, like, she's busy working, she works from home, and she gets a call from her old employer, and she had a really good relationship with her old employer. And
so she obviously ends up quitting her job.
Yes, she ends up quitting her job because her fiance makes her life fucking miserable.
Wonderful!
Like, she didn't have any proof, but, like, let out all the air out of her tires. Destroyed a project she'd been working on. And the backup was destroyed.
Wow.
And he tried telling people, oh, yeah, like, she's just going through a hard time. Everything's not off, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, you're full of shit. No, we're done.
You cheated on me.
Yeah.
With my cousin.
Yeah.
You suck.
Yeah. So she tried to make things work for months. And then she's like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I have to go out on my own. And it was like a family, because she started as an intern at the place.
Right.
So her old boss calls her, and they're like, oh, like, it's great to hear from you. How are you doing? Her iPad blasted out Rock in the USA.
Yes! That's awesome!
So this book... Like, I actually messaged my mom and my sister-in-law, who are both Nora Roberts fans, and I was like, you have to read this book. Like, I borrowed it from the library, but I love it enough to where I think I'm just going to buy all the books, because,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so, basically, the big mystery part of it is, it's been known that brides, because it's called the Lost Bride Trilogy, brides die on either their wedding night or within the first year of their marriage. And it starts out with a bride, like, this is back in the 1800s.
Right.
It's the night of her wedding. She, like, was doing something, was going down to the reception space, and this woman out of the loony bin comes in and stabs her. And she dies in her newly husband's arms.
Oh, God.
And then other women in the family died, like, childbirth. And there's 7 of them. So... yeah, that's the paranormal part. In addition to the haunted house, the main character is getting these dreams. And all these former brides are like, there's 7 rings. You need to gather all 7 of them, and the curse is going to be broken. So it's like, well, how do you do that? Like, that's kind of the question, is how the fuck do you do that? Yeah.
Wow.
And then, it's good. It's really good.
That sounds good. I want to read it myself. That sounds really good.
It's from the library.
I know.
Yeah, my thing is, I had to renew it because it was due July 22nd, and as of this recording, it's July 25th, and I was like, I'm not giving it back yet.
Nope, not done.
It's not happening.
Nope, not done.
But yeah, those are my latest reads. I'm just gonna gush over Inheritance. I'm gonna continue doing it.
That's totally fine. That's really acceptable. Well, and so a fun fact that we figured out the other day, the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which I just bought when we were in Target last Friday.
We enable each other to buy books when we're out and about.
Yes, we do, and I don't care. I want more bookshelves, and I want my husband to build me a taller bookshelf so I can fit all of my books in my textbooks. Because I read too much of those already right now. I have 2 more weeks left in my class.
2 more weeks, you're almost done.
Holy shit. But
we need to celebrate during the next recording, because this is every other week right now. So.
Yes. Oh. But, that series is coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
So we're definitely not going to be able to cover that by August 1st, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's a fun little ditty. And I finally started that Anna Harrington book you lent me.
Okay. My mom got me into those books.
Yes, I remember you telling me, and I'm like slightly appalled. Kalora. The fuck? Because I know you're listening.
Yes.
A little bit of a blushing episode there.
Oh, the Anna Harrington books are so good. So think of like Bridgerton with a Victorian age time frame, but more smut. It's so good.
Books are definitely more smutty. Very, like, first 50 pages is almost getting fucked. I'm like, oh, we're going to jump right into this. Okay, then. As my husband is laying next to me in bed being like, why are you reading smut? I don't know. It's good. Leave me alone.
Okay, husbands can fuck off if they're questioning that. Smut's fun.
Smut is fun. That's what I keep telling him.
Yeah, I'm so excited. How far through the book are you?
Not very far.
Okay, you need to, on the next book, Campfire Chat, you need to tell me what you think of it.
I will. Because, yeah, there's that. And then I started listening to, I'm not very far into it, The Covenant of Water. Okay. That is a massive book. Like, I think the listening hours are like 30 hours of listening. The book is like, I think, close to 1,000 pages. It is a big freaking book.
Okay, I thought that...
And so I'm listening to it.
Oh my god. That Outlander book in my reel of, this is the book I'm afraid of reading, is 1,400 pages. And I'm like, I have to mentally prepare myself for that shit.
That's a dedication. That is a whole mental preparation exercise there.
I'm still on the track of probably reading 1 a year because it's dedication.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah. Yeah, and
okay.
then after this one, I'm going to be reading Butcher and Blackbird.
There you go.
Which our friend was like, yeah, the second book has a disclaimer. So I was like, does this first book have a disclaimer? Yes. Oh. Yes, it does. So, okay. And I'm leading a book club about it. So I think I just screwed myself over.
Yes! I think that's perfect. I love it. I think it's great.
But alright, so I think we've gotten excited about books again.
I love
It's time to wrap this up. Mm-hmm. Please continue to like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, you're missing out. You're going to get notified because these are not the most consistent of releases. So make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. And then please subscribe on Spotify. Both of those are at Books, Booze, and Murder. And what about socials, Alexa?
Well, at the gram, you can find us at Books, Booze, Murder. And TikTok, it is Books, Booze, Murder Pod.
Yeah.
Don't forget that pod part.
Yeah. And then we're going to be back in August.
We'll be back in August for full episode and another campfire chat.
We'll probably have a couple more of those.
Yeah.
And then you have soccer starting up again.
And then soccer is starting August 29th.
Woof. Busy, busy, busy. But all right. Until next time, bye-bye.
Doodles.